Okay, let's get started. So, I'm always giving everything, any knowledge, all the knowledge that I have, I'm giving to you from my soul, okay? Now let's get started. Okay, so before we get started, don't forget to visit to my online shop for the women. You can buy some wonderful cosmetic, which has been manufactured from overseas country like Japan, and most of them that be manufactured local, so you can have a different type of flavor, okay? Cosmetics, underwear, bra, all the size. And for the brother, I didn't forget about you. I have the hood on, vase, paint, tracksuit, this stuff. Let's get started because this has nothing to do with this. Now they say question 11, question 12 are based on the following information. Based on this information. Now they say consider the following graph showing demand and supply function for a certain product. So things you should know. Whenever you have a, let's say this is your graph, okay? This line here is for demand functions. You understand what I'm saying? But this line here is for, so this is for demand function, and this is for supply function. Supply function. That's what you should know, okay? Now, here we go. And another thing, if you had to cut here, let's say dot, you break this point, okay? This point here, we call it at equilibrium, whereby demand and supply, they are equal. So let's say this, let's call point D. So D is at equilibrium. At equilibrium. At equilibrium, whereby demand function means demand, price of demand equal to price of supply. So this, see, this is demand. This is demand. So you can call this one. This is the price of demand, and this is for supply. For supply. So at this point in that equilibrium, they're all equal. And another thing also you should know, see this area here? Let's do this. This it helps us to get, okay? It helps us to get supplier surplus. Okay, it helps us to get, let me check this word quickly. Okay, so this area here, it helps us to get producer surplus. So this, it helps us to get producer surplus, this region here. For producer surplus, I want you to understand the whole graph. Producer surplus. So now, how do we get there? See, before I come to the question, so when you come to the question, you get there, you're going to understand, okay? How do we get the producer surplus, okay? Okay, see this region here, this point here, this one is called B. See, and this, let's call it P. So let's find the producer surplus. So remember this is a triangle. So since this is a triangle, meaning we can simply apply the formula, say, okay, producer surplus equal to a half times, because this is a triangle, half times, okay, a half times, okay, let me write under a little bit. Producer surplus equal to a half times triangle, a half times base times the height for any triangle. So times this length here from P to B. So let's find the difference. P minus B to get this length. So we're going to say P minus B times this length here. So this length here from here to there. See, this is the quantity and this is the price. So this is going to be quantity naught. So I can just simply say this length and this length. So the length for this is from Q naught minus 0. So I can just simply say bracket Q naught minus 0. Q naught minus 0. But what is Q naught minus 0? Q naught minus 0 is just a Q naught, okay? So I can just leave, I can say this is, let me say, producer surplus equal to a half times P, mean this length here minus here. So you minus this, whatever value you have here, you minus B times just a Q naught. So this is going to give us what? The producer surplus. Okay? So just that you know. Equilibrium. So this region is producer surplus. Now let me show you how you can get consumer surplus. So this is for producer surplus. Now for consumer surplus, we use this region otherwise. Okay, so now we don't need, okay. So we're gonna say now, let's shade here, let's use that color, let's say the red one. So this is a consumer surplus. So consumer surplus, I wanna show you now how to get this surplus. So this producer surplus, the above one is consumer surplus. So now what we're gonna say for consumer surplus, also use the triangle formula. We say consumer surplus equal to a half times, so we take from this coordinate, so this coordinate here, you call it A. So you're going to say A minus P. So it's going to be A minus P, or we can call it P naught now. Even P doesn't matter, A minus P, or you can say P naught, or P. See, because this was 0, so let's call it P naught. But at first we're using this line, we say 0 Q naught. So for now, since we deal with this line, 0 P naught, because we deal with the P line now. So I'm going to call A minus Q naught to get this length, and then we multiply. What we multiply? We multiply by this length because we need this triangle. We do this. We need this triangle here. This triangle here to get what? To get consumer surplus. So now we're going to say times this A minus P naught, because take higher minus the lowest, times this length here. What is this length? This length is from here to here, the same from here to here, which is Q naught minus 0. Q naught minus 0. So for that case, consumer surplus equal to a half A minus, okay, A minus P naught, and then we say Q naught minus 0, just say Q naught, and this is going to help you to get the consumer surplus, and then we'll be done to get a consumer surplus. So I believe now you understand everything. This is the supply function, demand function, and this is going to be where it cuts the break. This D is equilibrium point, and this is initial quantity. Now let's go to the question now. They say which line represent the demand function and which represent the supply function. So they give us option here to pick. Okay, now let's go. Let's say line BD. Which is BD? Okay, this is not it's no supply or demand, it's just a breakpoint. Line BD represent the supply function. No, it's not true, because supply function is, supply function is this. This is a supply function. Let's label them. So this is going to call what? This is supply function, line 1, and this is the demand function, line 2. This is demand function. Okay, now let's go. So they say line BD represents supply function. I'm not going to even read anything because I read it wrong. I don't want to waste your time. No demand line, the line, because we have a demand line. Which is the demand line? This demand line or demand function. Now let's come for the second one. Both line 1 and line 2 represent supply. Both line 1 and line 2 represent supply function. No, it's not true. They don't both represent supply function. Line 2 represent demand function, line 1 represents supply function. So this also is not true. Not true, this is not true. Now let's come for C. Line 1 represent demand function. No, it's not true. Line 1 represents supply function. They say it represents demand function. It's not true. And line 2 supply function. No, line 2 it represents demand. They say supply. So it's like other way around. Let's go for the last option. Line 1 represent supply. It's true. Line 1, can you see? Line 1 it represents the supply function, and line 2 represents demand function. Oh yes. So this is the correct. Continue watching this video because the space was not enough, so I could not write it. So continue watching. There we go to number 12. So I'm gonna erase this part here and then write question 12, and there we go. Okay. Number 12, right? So question number 12. They say which of the following statement is true. So we're going to have to read this and see which statement is true. So we have to still refer to the same graph that we have. So now we know producer surplus, and then we know consumer surplus. We know those areas, how to get them. So now let's go to the question. They say point D is the break-even point. Oh no. This point D is the equilibrium, point of equilibrium, whereby at point D, okay, price of demand is equal to the price of supply. Why? Because at D, at point D. Why? Because at equilibrium. That's how you say. You see what I'm saying? Now, let's go. So let's say he's a break point. No, leave that. Point D is not break point. Let's go. Point C represent, where's the point C? This point C. Represent the price that no consumer surplus at equilibrium. Excuse me, sorry. It's not true because this point here, they say point C represent the price. Okay, we know this is a price, and then that no consumer surplus at equilibrium. Okay, this supply, no, it's not even make any sense. Now, they say, okay, what do I mean when I say it don't make no sense? I have to give you the reason. They say represent the price. Okay, we know this is going to be price. Okay, now, but what is this price? This price here is like initial price. Represent that no consumer surplus at equilibrium. Okay, let's leave that, but I will know it's not true. Let's continue first, and then we're going to take the more correct answer. The area of a triangle ABD, which is ABD? ABD. Which area is this? This is the consumer surplus. So we know this ABD is the consumer surplus, but let's read more and see what do they say. Represent the consumer surplus. Yes. So this is obvious. So you don't want to be in a position where you kind of not sure, like, okay, what do they mean here? But at this, you know, obvious, the area of a triangle ABD, ABD. Oh, so this is a consumer surplus. You know why? Because you say consumer surplus equal to a half times this length here. What is this for this case? We're going to say A minus B. For this case, A minus B, and then we multiply by this length. Which is this length here? They didn't give us, but here, okay, equal, most of the time is Q naught. So you say Q naught minus 0. Q naught minus 0 go to Q naught. See, that's how you get the area, that's how you get the consumer surplus. So the area of a triangle ABD represent the consumer surplus at equilibrium. Oh yes, that's true. Now let's come here and see. The area of a triangle ACD, we don't have something like that. We only know we could have gotten the area of here, which is producer surplus, but they didn't give to us. But there's no such a thing, ACD, no. But I could have said producer surplus equal to a half multiplied by this length, which is B and C, B minus C times this length here. What is this length is? Q naught minus 0, because this and this is same. Q naught minus 0 go to Q naught. And this would have given us the producer surplus. So this is not true. This is obvious, something which is we know is the correct answer. So see the correct answer. This one is not too clear. Like, it's not too clear. So for that case now, I'm gonna say, and you know what? I say it's not clear. Look, they say represent the price that no consumer surplus, like how? So that's what I say. Option 3 is the correct answer. So if you face time here, make sure you come right here, subscribe, share the video to a lot of people. And another thing, also go and visit to the website, you know, my online shop. For the brother, you can just go there. You can find the merchandise, hood on, vase, outfit. But in the future, we're gonna come with the sneakers, you know, tackies and sneakers, see, and all the stuff. Okay, nice one, good design, very unique design, that is strong, quality material which can last long. See, for the ladies out there, for the beautiful sister out there, you know, like I say, I have cosmetic online shop where you can purchase all the type of cosmetic, and on top of that, underwear, bra, different size of the bra, and different size of the underwear too. So just go and visit, brother and sister. You know, I love you. That's why I do all these projects from my heart. You know, and I want you. I know definitely. I want you to do well, and I know you want your king here. You know, to do excellent to win. So go and show me love, go show me support. If you can go and purchase some of the products, the items that I have on my live shop, means I win. Thanks a lot for your time. Peace. I'll see you soon. I'm out.